And a very good afternoon to you right across the Riverland and Mallee at 5RM. It is 5RM football. Lockie Wendell live from Waikerie. Nobby, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Lockie, and good afternoon to listeners. What a fantastic day down here. Hey, once again, Waikerie Oval in exceptional condition, just like it was at Loxton North last week. I almost think they've lifted it up and brought it. No, they haven't. Both ovals with new irrigation systems, and you can see the benefit of it. Umpires Linky, Kasolki and Jericho in charge today, all out in the middle warming up, trying to get both teams to come to the centre and toss the coin with them.
They certainly are. Look, Nobby, it's going to be for this year for both sides, but a lot of familiarity on the mix.
Waikerie probably missing a bit in the tall timber department, although in saying that, Renmark not over-blessed in that department, so I can see a running game very much being part of the action here today, Lockie, and gee whiz, I've been so excited to come down here and watch this grand final replay.
We have certainly been excited for this all week. I see both sides warming up there this afternoon. Look, a lot of familiar names have spoken about that for the Renmark Rovers. Waikerie, you know, a few new players getting a run at the moment, which is exciting to see for the Waikerie Magpies. Speak about Burgermeister. There's two of them in the lineup today.
Yep.
Young Lockie Nitschke is another one that excited us last year too.
Jared B as well, Lockie. Is he a new face or?
No, Jared's been around a while. He played a lot of reserves footy over the years, but good to see him stepping up.
Nice strike to get the lollies for throat lozenges. I bumped into Ben Venning, who's looking in extremely sharp condition. And I think Waikerie got a little bit of a move about them today, where they kind of fancy taking a bit of retribution on this and a bit of getting one back.
They certainly do. We'll see how the sides now lining up. So if we look here, and I actually missed the coin toss there, Nobby, which was a bit of a rookie move from my part.
I can tell you he's won at Waikerie because they're going to the end with the breeze. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, I see Waikerie have got young Sky Sinot in the ruck to start things off this afternoon, which is exciting. And the Renmark Rovers, the
apparently he had the better of Berries Thompson last week too in ruck. So look forward to today from Renmark.
Look forward to it as the ball goes up. It is the first quarter Riverland football thanks to Maccas. Good tap by Gartree. Doesn't go anywhere. A handball out and there'll be another
Rowe
ball
in the
up.
middle.
Jared Rowe, good to see him back in the side.
Yeah, in the middle too, as opposed to doing a bit of damage up forward.
Yep, ball travelling down into the attacking 50 of the Rovers, but spills out, and I think we're going to get another ball up.
Yep, early days, but a little bit more open than the contest we visited last week, Lockie.
Yes, it certainly was. It was an interesting game at Loxton North last week. Another ball up for the umpires, and a kick into the 50. Can Renmark hit a target? It is out of bounds, and that will be a ball up. Sorry, throw in rather.
Yep, off hands. Good crowd in today too, by the way, just like last week, and Riverland footy alive and well on the basis of attendance.
Certainly is. Good ball in from the umpires. The Rucks doing battle. Kick out of the Renmark attacking 50, and that will be a free to the Magpies. And I reckon that's Daish that's going to get the free. Returning player for the Waikerie Magpies this year. Brings it back in board. Looks for a target. Fraser Sampson for the Rovers gets some hands on it. Ball now spills to ground. The Rovers looking menacing. Oh, good attack on the footy. Doesn't go anywhere, and that will be another ball up.
Yeah, well umpired by Jericho there. He let it go a little bit before he called it up for a ball up. Up it goes. Ruckman into it. Gartery again, first hand of the ball, but Waikerie take it away from the bounce. And Renmark back on it. Stacks on the mill again. The umpire will ball that up again. Jericho restarts proceedings. Not really any sort of a hit out there from the either big fella, and the ball goes straight back into a clinch. Up it goes again. Renmark with the ball out, only to Waikerie, who quickly move it to the wing. Yep, it's still Stacks on the mill here, and both sides finding it hard to clear this zone and get any running play going. Ball up. Gardery again first hand to the ball. This time Rowe onto it first up, but quickly beset upon by 3 Magpies. Here we go, another ball up. Gardery again to Renmark. To Vader that time, who quickly gets the ball forward. Waikerie got free kick at half back to Tristan Geeman. Gee, he's not getting any smaller, Lockie,
No.
but in very good shape.
Yeah, good move from the Magpies now, getting a little bit of space, running down that wing. They do this well. Finds Daish again, or was that Grieger? Sorry,
Grieger.
my bad.
Well, good
Hits a
kick.
target in the forward line. Magpies look on the attack, look to centre it. They've spotted a target and they found one. And
Jared B, I think. Lockie.
Jared B will go back for a kick on goal.
Yep, the first shot on goal today. Going with a slight breeze. Started off across the ground, but now definitely favouring the town end.
All right, so what would he be kicking from here, Nobby?
Oh, I'm thinking 40, maybe 42 when he lets go of it. Shouldn't have trouble with the distance.
Gives it a roost, but
He didn't.
sprays it.
So Waikerie on the board. Sort of a bit of a huddle at centre half back, Lockie.
Yeah, an interesting mode of defence from both sides. The Rovers bring it out, looks for Vader. Vader
Outnumbered,
taps forward.
4 on 1.
And B brings it back in board and finds Grieger. So the Magpies will have another shot on goal.
Vader looking like 1-on-1 at the contest, but was quickly surrounded by 4 Pies. Jack Grieger has been lively early in this game. Takes the shot from 49. No trouble with the distance, but through for a minor score. That's Waikerie 2 points. Renmark yet to trouble the scorer. Waikerie Renmark bringing the ball out to Trevor Thorpe at half back, but quickly, and he switches it back to the other side. Back to Harry Beavis, and again across even further. Renmark take the ball down the far side wing.
Yeah, the Rovers looking menacing now, but a halt in play and the Magpies have caught up.
Keeping the ball away from them though, that's 4 possessions to Renmark. This will be so playing a bit of keepings off here as they work the ball towards half forward. Beautifully to Grady Opes, who is about 40 out. Does that mean he only went 10 metres, Lockie?
Yeah, it's an interesting goal. So Grady Opes, he was a key player in that grand final last year, wasn't he? And we'll go back for a shot on goal. Very composed.
This will tell us about the breeze.
Magpies currently on the scoreboard with 1 solitary point.
2 points.
2 points, sorry.
Oh, that scoreboard hasn't kept up.
Opes gives it a roost, but that also is a miss to the near side.
Out of bounds. On the full. Hit the point post on the full.
So it'll be a kick into the Magpies now. Renmark's defence, they're running the zone this afternoon. There's players everywhere. Venning kicks across the face, but finds a target.
Spenceley out there, is it?
Spenceley, yep, and passes off. It goes even wider. Now they look to go down the line. Oh, a bit of a tap after play, but it's back to the Rovers. Vader now kicks back in board, looks for a target. 37 of Austin, hard at it, it's 2 on 1, but manages to win the footy. Dish. Ball's off, back to Vader, can't get it, and the Magpies managed to get this hot footy out of their defence, but no, finds the 21 of Dan Woodford. Wolford, rather.
The third Wolford. This is the new Wolford, is it?
Yes, this is the third inclusion, the latest one.
30 metres out, Lockie. 45-degree angle.
Yep. I reckon this would, I wouldn't say it's a certainty, nothing is, but goes back for a shot on goal. looks all right. It's drifting, but it's not drifting enough. And the Rovers get their first score on the board, but it's a minor score.
See the defender, Venning, trying to play on with a handball from the square before the umpire had called everyone back. So.
That doesn't work. So Matt Spenceley's going to take the kick in for the Magpies. Tries to find a target. Ball goes to ground. Finds Burgermeister. Then goes through with Braun, but it's back to the Rovers in Harry Beavis, who kicks back inboard to Vater. Looks for Fraser Sampson. Fraser, small kick. That wasn't 10. No. And the umpire has called play on. Kinnear was the one trying to claim the mark. Finds Marath. Shot on goal, but that is out on the full.
A hurried kick for a man that had a bit more time than he thought there, I think, Lockie.
Yes, I think you could be correct, Nobby.
Still, perceived pressure is just as dangerous as normal pressure.
Certainly is. So the Magpies now try to bring it back in board. Still a very tight footy, 10 minutes gone. Oh, good grab.
This B again. Jared B, he started well for them.
Certainly has, and looks for Grieger, who thought he had a bit of space, but he's going to place a contest. Oh, good bump. Craig Miller. And it is on the footy, and there's a bit of bit of enthusiasm early this afternoon, Nobby.
I'll keep an eye on that contest between Harry Beavis and Craig Miller. It looks like there's a bit of spice in it. Here we go, Renmark through Vader, moving the ball forward again and wide. Contested ball. Play on, nice tackle there from Renmark. Get the ball back, move it forward. Nice mark, very nice mark there from Alex Haynes. He's about 30 metres out, 45 on the far side of the oval. Tell you what, this distance seems to be about it going that way. But maybe, just maybe, Alex is going to have a longer leg than the first two guys that have had a shot that end. Renmark have had a fair bit of the ball and used it well. Ball grubbering out of bounds on the full. Interesting look. Like he shinned that ball. So Tristan Geeman about to bring the ball back into play from the Magpies' defensive last line of defence. Goes short, didn't clear the zone, it's still in the 50. Now Waikerie are out.
Got a little bit of space, but still a tight footy, Nobby. Both sides not giving it up too easy this afternoon. It is 5am footy, thanks to Macca's, and one Macca's Rewards has arrived. Dive on the footy.
Waikerie getting numbers around the ball, but Renmark seem to handling it a lot better.
They are, however, both sides not really making the most of it when they've gone into 50. We've seen the Magpies have a couple of shots at it, and the Rovers as well, but no one yet to get a goal. Hard footy. Bill's out. Blight looks for Stockman, who kicks back inboard, looks for a target, but finds Ben Venning, the Magpie defender. Good defensive play.
Yeah, experienced defender cuts that ball off.
So the ball goes out wide again. We're seeing it a lot in this scoreboard pocket this afternoon. The Wireworks electrical scoreboard. One solitary point, both sides. Well, sorry, 2 points. The scoreboard not quite keeping up this afternoon. Nobby, the official scorekeeper this afternoon. Wolford kicks inboard, and that is a good grab from Austin. And Austin's going to go back for a shot on goal.
Yeah, his second shot on goal this quarter, but last time was out in the full. This time he's dead in front, but he's still 35 metres out, maybe 40.
What are the chances?
I don't think he'll make the distance, Lockie.
He's not looking at... No one's leading for a target.
Not if he shanks it like he did the last one.
Jared Rose looking a little bit like he might go for a lead, but doesn't.
Oh,
Austin goes back, gives it a roost, and that's a goal.
There's the commentator's curse if ever you needed it.
And Austin hits the scoreboard for the Renmark Rovers, who take the early advantage at 1-1-7 to the Waikerie Magpies. 2 points this afternoon. It is 5 footy, thanks to Maccas.
He certainly made amends for that first one out in the full with a straight through the middle out. Goal umpire did not have to move, except for to tilt his head back.
So after some persistence, the Renmark Rovers break through and get the first major score of the afternoon. Magpies still looking dangerous, though. They've still got lots of options, and it's still early days in this game. Round 2, Riverland footy.
Difference is only in the cleanliness of how the ball's being handled by either side.
All right, here we go. Umpire, ball up, right in the middle. Gartree, oh, good tap, but doesn't find Vader. Oh, but now it looks like it might. Gartree got it again. But the Magpies now through Daish. Kicks long, not into the 50. Grady Opes tries to mop it up for the Rovers, gives it a tap, finds Thorpe. Now to Sampson, who looks for Gartree, who gets taken to ground, not holding the ball. And the Magpies calling for it, but it's going to be a ball up.
One of my top 3 rules, Lockie, do not handball to a ruckman when he's standing still, which is what happened there.
Another ball up, doesn't go too far. Oh, a bit of a push, and the umpire has called it, and that will be a free kick to the Rovers. Oh, it's been reversed. Okay.
Might have got a bit of advice there, I think, the umpire.
So Ricky Garrett's passed it back to Spenceley, who finds Grieger, too far to score, but kicks it into the 50, looks for a target. Ball goes to ground. Miller tries to pick it up, gets wrapped up. The Magpie forwards diving onto it.
Beavis and Miller once again reacquainting themselves with each other.
Yeah, a little bit of pushing and shoving there in the back of the play. So there'll be another ball up in the Rovers 50. About 25, Magpies 50, rather 25 from goal. A frantic kick on goal, but doesn't go anywhere. Ball scrambling, players diving everywhere. And that is another ball up. 20 now out of the Magpies goal.
Got a feeling there's a few more chapters in that Miller Beavis story to be told yet today, Lockie.
Here we go. So, Magpies and Rovers go at it again, and defensive pressure from the Rovers looking good early.
Would you say 20 metres out from Waikerie goal here?
Yep, 20 out. 15 minutes gone on the Nippies clock this afternoon. Tap from Gartree. Goes to the Magpies, though.
Miller?
Goes near the goals, but the Rovers managed to get that one wrapped up with Will Stockman, who kicks out of the 50, but that goes to nowhere. Ball to ground. Frantic footy once again. We're seeing a lot of this afternoon, Nobby.
Yeah, I think that kick surprised the Waikerie player there by clearing him. It actually went a bit further than I thought he thought it was going to off the beat.
So Gartree in the ruck again, probably winning the ruck early this afternoon. Daish in there again for the Magpies. He's looking very tough early.
See that clean movement of the ball out to Wolford there.
Geeman, good kick down the line, but finds Tim Blight from the Rovers. Spenceley, a little soccer, finds Grieger. Grieger down the line, looks for a target, misses. Craig Miller's in there for the Magpies, dives on it. So does Harry Beavis. Oh, Grieger now picks up the footy, shot on goal, but misses to the near side again.
He had more time than he thought there as well, I reckon. No one talking to him around the ball.
The Magpies add another point to their score. The Rovers now look to bring it out, go wide.
Nice kick. That one to Dan Wolford as well. He's covering a fair bit of ground, Lockie. I wouldn't mind seeing his heat map at quarter time.
He's doing all right. Brings it back inboard. Finds Thorpe. Are they going to go for the switch here? No. Thorpe goes back down the line. Looks for a target. Magpies now gain possession. Miller handballs back inboard. Finds the Rovers though, and Thorpe once again picks it up and takes the footy on. No bounce. And finds Gartree, who's got a little bit of room as he runs down the wing.
Takes a bounce.
Looks long. Who's he got? Obst was running the other way for the ball, and the Magpies now pick it back up and bring it back down the wing, and that finds Jack Rieger. The handball's back inboard, finds Daish, looks long,
Nice kick.
finds a target, and that is
kick.
a good grab from the Magpies. It's a
Took the ball through the middle of the ground and found space.
certainly did. So the Magpies now are going to go back on board for a shot on goal.
Gee whiz, Lockie, we've got a few numbers missing here. We'll have to run down at quarter time and get them fixed.
I'm not sure who the...
We've got a 3 and a 14, and neither are in the book.
So the Magpies now go back.
Oh,
Oh, and that's long, and that's out on the full.
he might want to change his number at quarter time after a kick like that.
Yeah, we could do. So the Rovers now will try to bring this one back inboard. We've got 20 minutes gone on the time clock this afternoon. First quarter Riverland football on 5RM. Thanks to Maccas. Finds Jared Rowe, who would be
He's been busy.
about 40 out of the Magpies goal and looks for a switch to try and go on the attack. But I reckon there's more Magpies there than Rovers where he's kicked it. And
Gordon for his first touch of the quarter of the day.
finds Grieger. Hasn't he had a good quarter so
Yeah, he
far for the
certainly has.
Magpies.
And used the ball every time he's got it too.
Ben Smith for the Magpies brings it into the 50, but finds Sampson for the Rovers.
Not a bad pass if you're on the attacking side of things, but no good. Here we go, 3-on-1 Magpies. Should be able to make something of this.
Oh,
Turned it
that's
over.
Wolford again.
Yep.
Finds the other Wolford in Matt, then finds Vader. The Rovers bring it across towards the commentary side. Kick down the line. Looks for a target. Over the top. Ben Venning, another spoil.
Renmark, would you say quicker on the recovery here, Lockie?
Could be. And Tom Charlton for the Rovers kicks long into the attacking zone, but the ball goes to ground, and that will be another ball up.
Well umpired there by Max Jericho. The forward looking for a free kick that wasn't really there.
Good tap down forward. Magpies try to drive it out of their defensive 50, but a shot on goal, a snap, and he's
Looks good.
excited.
Looks good. Ricky Garrett, I think.
Ricky Garrett has snapped an absolute ripper of a goal, and so far, that would be the goal of the day, Nobby.
Certainly, most certainly, Lockie.
Well, out of the two we've had.
I mean, Jack Austin's goal was good and long and clean kick, but that was an excellent ground ball get and snap around the corner.
So the Rovers extend the lead 2-1-13 to the Waikerie Magpies, 3 behinds, 22 minutes gone, first quarter Riverland football at 5RM.
Renmark seem to have had more of it in their forward lines and used it better, but Waikerie have been around the ball. They've probably won some of the hard ball gets more than Renmark have, just haven't used it.
No, so the ball back in the middle. We have a change in the ruck. Craig Miller for the Magpies goes in against Gartree. Rowe for the Magpies, Rovers dives on it, and that ball goes about 3 metres from where the umpire had it only 30 seconds ago. Another ball up. Gartree and Miller, good tap from Gartree. Ball spills out to the side, a frantic kick, not going anywhere. The
Sampson
Rovers
again.
managed to clear it out. Garrett, Wolford rather, Obst running hard at it. So was Heusler for the Magpies. And Harrison Brown for the Rovers takes it out of bounds, and that will be a ball in right in front of the coach's box here at Waikerie this afternoon. Here we go, so we can get an insight here as to ruck combo. Ben Grieger's going to take the ruck here for the Magpies. Not Ben Grieger, rather, Jack. A lot of Griegers playing Riverland football this year, Nobby. Handball's out of bounds, and that is another ball in.
Gartery's ruck.
Oh, here we go. What are we going to see here? They're just having umpires conferring as to what. Oh, no, it's a free kick to the Rovers. There you go. Okay. Wolford finds Harrison Brown. He's got a bit of space. Kicks long down the line. Finds Charlton, but I reckon Charlton marked that out on the full.
Yep.
And that will be a free kick to Tristan Gaiman. Isn't he a solid defender on the half-back line for the Magpies?
He's been pushed into work this quarter by quite a lot of Renmark.
Yeah,
Oh, look
and
out.
the kick return tries to tap out of bounds, and we will see a throw-in right in front of us here in the commentary position. 25 minutes gone, first quarter Riverland football. 5am, thanks to Macca's. My Macca's Rewards has arrived. Download the app today and start earning. Good. The Renmark Rovers lead 2-13 to the Waikerie Magpies. Behind. Second quarter, not too far away here at Waikerie. It is quarter time. The Renmark Rovers leading this one 2-13 to the Waikerie Magpies, 3 behind. A close, tough start to that first quarter, Nobby. The Rovers managing to find a way and get a few goals though.
Yep, 3 shots apiece, and that probably reflects the effort of both sides. But Renmark a little cleaner around the ball and around the midfield.
Certainly was, and the Rovers probably for the second half of that first quarter really did have probably 70 to 80% of the possession in their forward 50. Look, the Magpies had some chances early, and they have got some targets, but it's a matter of making them stick.
What would you do, Lockie, if you were coaching Waikerie at the moment? Where would you be heading with this? They need to lock down a little bit on a couple of the Renmark runners, particularly Dan Wolford, who I thought was probably one of their better ones that quarter.
Yeah. Look, for me, I think if I'm the coaching Waikerie, you've got to get him in the middle.
Yeah.
You've got to leave up forward for a Burgermeister and a Schiller or someone like that.
I think you're right, because I think he gets exposed for pace when the ball hits the deck. If he's in the middle, he's got
he'll be in the middle,
midfielders around him.
And he's hard at it, and that's what they're going to need. So I'd be throwing Craig Miller in the middle and keeping him out of the forward line and keep the forwards open. They've got a lot of fast or dashing forwards, as you'd say, the Waikerie Magpies, and it's a matter of getting it to them. No one necessarily needs to mark it in the forward 50 for the Magpies. It's got to come to ground, and they've just got to be front and centre. As long as someone can put a contest in, and I'm looking at Burgermeister for that.
Yeah, well, I found those missing numbers, and one of them that was played quite well was Mitch Hahn, number 3, in that quarter for Waikerie. And I thought other good players were Jared B, Jack Grieger and Tristan Geeman all had their moments. For Renmark, you probably got to give a tick to Zach Garter. He rucked the whole first quarter. It'll be interesting to see how he goes for the rest of the day. I thought Rowe was okay. Dan Wolford probably their best at the moment. And interesting pickups by Matt Wolford did a little bit as well. And Harry Beavis had a good tussle with Craig Miller, would you say?
He did. Just a quick around the grounds update. Only one game running this afternoon. The Barmah and Monash Roos, they're home against the Berry Demons. It is Barmah 1-5-11 to the Berry Demons. 2-2-14, quarter time, close at the Lakeside.
Sounds like it might be another one of those close contests.
Second quarter about to get underway. Siren sounds, umpire balls it up, and bit of a change in the ruck there, Nobby. We have
Alex Haynes into the ruck.
Haynes has been thrown in there, so Gartree getting a little bit of a breather. The Magpies get the early advantage, finds Daesh. Daesh spills out, goes to ground. That is Mitch Hahn, who manages to get the footy, but it'll be another ball up in the Magpies 50, going to the river end now.
Ooh. Healthy tackle there by Jake Collins, who is in the ruck.
So another tap. Looks for Spenceley. Spenceley unable to wrap it up. Rovers now get a kick. Looks for Blight, but that's...
That was Dan Wolford again punching that ball forward for the Rovers.
That was Jack Burgermeister that managed to get his hands on that one for the Magpies. Finds Hoysler for the Magpies, but wrapped up, and Wolford for the Rovers goes on the attack. Finds Tom Charlton, who's about 51 metres out from goal. He looks wide, looks for a target. Austin it is, but it spills over the back.
Well played by Dylan Collin. He left his man going back to the square to pick off that short player.
Garrett for the Rovers now has it. Looks for some targets to bring it back into the 50. Handballs over, finds Matt Wolford. A loopy kick over the top and goes straight to the Waikerie Magpies.
There was no positive in that short kick. Long to the goal square should have been there. He gets it back. Now he goes along to the goal square.
Here we go. What have we got? Oh, nearly a mark of the day, but it spills over the back. And we're going to get another ball up. Oh, no. The Magpies clear it out. Good tackle from Dan Austin.
A lot of pressure on there by the Rovers on the way, not allowing the Magpies to bring that ball out.
So another ball up in the...
Blight takes it out of the ruck.
Oh, and that is a behind. So the Renmark Rovers, 2-2-14 on the Wireworks Electrical scoreboard. 3 minutes going on the Nippies clock. Second quarter, Riverland football, 5RM. Spenceley now with the job of bringing this one out.
You'd say Bree's not a factor anymore, the way that ball got moved out of defence to the back of the square.
Yep, good mark from Stephen Braun from the Magpies. Yep. Now it's gone wide, and it's going to be a free kick here to the Magpies, who go back to the 26 of Ben Smith, who looks to bring it across, finds Matt Spenceley. Now the Magpies just holding station for a second here. Finds a target in B. You'd say nearly perfectly centre of the ground. Kicks into the 50, looks for a target, and good spoil from the Rovers, and that goes to ground, and Rovers pick it up and look for some options. Too many handballs though, can always spell disaster. Back to Beavis, who kicks wide, finds the 41 of Jenke, who tries to turn it back in. Quick handball to Dan Wolford, but has a bounce. Looks up, looks for a target, finds Austin, but a good spoil from the Magpies. Hard footy, hot at it.
That was friendly fire that took that Waikerie player down there.
Yep, Tristan Geeman manages to mop it up, but had no options and kicks a loose footy that's found by Matt Wolford, who finds Blight, handballs back to Matt Wolford. Matt Wolford now kicks into the 50. Charlton got some hands on it, but unable to mark it. Tries to pick it back up. Tristan Geeman's back in there. So is Ben Venning. And now Jared B gets it out of there. Well done from the Waikerie Magpies there. Some good defensive play under pressure.
Yeah, the wise heads in defence holding up well there with Ben Venning. Hard to make him put him under pressure. He's unflappable.
Venning knew when to leave his man then and take that contest on. So well done for the Waikerie Magpies defence. 5 minutes gone, second quarter Riverland football, 5RM, thanks to Maccas. But a ball in. It's Haynes for the Rovers, now in the ruck. Finds Garrett, a loose kick into the 50. And that's off a few hands, but...
Second bite, he made it look like he marked it.
That's Austin goes for a shot on goal, but misses it to the far side.
Good matchup for Waikerie there, Venning on Blight.
Yes, that is a good matchup, one to watch this afternoon.
You'd say Venning's in front at the moment.
So Venning, good kick, but the Magpies unable to mark it.
It was Moon, wasn't it?
It was.
Oh.
Finds Jared B, who manages to kick it long down the line. Still on the far side. Oh, the ball spills out. Magpies managed to get it into the 50, and that
Dustin Gordon
finds Gordon, who plays on and tries to wheel around, kicks into the 50, looks for a target. Oh, Magpies nearly mark it, and
I reckon that's Miller in the goal square.
And there's going to be a free kick, and yep. Not sure if it's Miller or not, Nobby. It is a bit of a distance from us here this afternoon.
No, it's not. No, it's not Miller. He must be sitting on the bench having a rest.
I reckon that is Burgermeister.
Yep.
So Burgermeister for a shot on goal. He's kicking on a
While this is
very
going on,
tight angle.
Gartery returns to the field, taking Alex Haynes' place. So he's had 5 minutes rest.
Burgermeister for a shot on goal, and that misses to the far side. So the Magpies starting off this quarter reasonably strong, but unable to capitalise on the scoreboard just yet. All right, so the Rovers now get the footy back. And that is Matt Wolford, who'll bring it back inboard. Ball doesn't hit the target, but the Rovers take it on. Play on is the call. Down the line, looks for Blight. He's got a couple of opponents to take on here. Finds Charlton.
Nice work.
Charlton handballs back inboard, finds Vader, who was nearly wrapped up by the Magpies. Spenceley's in there. Magpies and Rovers both on the attack. Charlton manages to pick it back up. Looks for Jenke, who takes on a wall of Magpies and manages to break through and hand it out. Spenceley's tried to get a foot on it. Just did. Goes into the 50. Not quite. And the Rovers try to clear it back out.
Very good contest from Ricky Garrett there.
Matt Wolford with the ball. Somewhat lost at sea, looking for an opponent and a teammate, but finds Garrett somehow. No idea how he managed to find Ricky Garrett then.
He doesn't mind standing under a hard ball, that fella.
Garrett back on board to Vader. Vader now into the 50, looks for a target and finds Austin, and that is a good grab, Jack Austin.
Distance won't be a problem as long as he doesn't shin it, Lockie.
He'll go back for a shot on goal here. Already had one shot and one goal earlier today. The Rovers currently lead, taking an early advantage in what is appearing to be a low-scoring game.
From 47 metres.
Austin looks right off the boot. Umpire does not move, and that is a goal for the Rovers.
And it went through by about 10.
3-2-20, the Renmark Rovers plays the Waikerie Magpies. 4 behind so far. The Rovers with the early advantage this afternoon. Riverland football, thanks to Maccas. And My Maccas Rewards has arrived. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today.
He presented very well up the middle of the ground, Lockie, there.
He did. And a big body and a big target and a good set of hands for some good
And that's
contest.
probably the only thing that's missing from the Magpies set up at the stage.
And what it's doing too, it's allowing Blight not to be stuck in the forward 50 for most of the day. He's probably more of a, he's almost playing on a wing basically.
Well, he really had a score assist there with that knock on. You don't have to have a kick or a handball, he just knocked it on.
He's lining up at centre half forward, but he's doing a lot of his work up the field. 10 minutes gone, second quarter, Riverland football on the Nippies time clock. Waikerie now back into the ruck. Good tap. The Magpies,
Brendan
though.
Moon gets it from the centre this time.
15 of Moon, back for the Magpies today. But the Rovers now managed to get possession through Sampson and finds Vader for another touch this afternoon. A loose kick, and that just goes out of bounds. And under the new rules, I reckon that will be a kick to the Magpies.
Vader doesn't seem to have an opponent here, Lockie.
No, I'm going to have a look at that one next time they line up in the middle because he's had a lot of possessions this afternoon. I see Daish is somewhat near him.
Oh,
All right, so the Rovers now managed to get this one from what was a Magpies free kick. Finds Matt Wolford, who's got a bit of a paddock in the middle of the field, takes a bounce, looks up, looks for a target. Trying to call around Ricky Garrett, Brown. And the
another good
Magpies
mark
get
by
it.
Golan. Oh, turns it over.
So the other Austin kicks back in board, looks for his Rovers teammates, but it's a good mark from the Waikerie Magpies in defence.
Gaiman again, is it?
Magpies' defence is holding up pretty strong this afternoon. The amount of attack from the Rovers they have survived, they're doing all right. 3-2-20 to the Waikerie Magpies 4 behinds, but it could have been a lot worse.
Tell you what, a good thing Gaiman turned up today because he's the man with his finger in the dike down there at the moment.
Certainly is. Between him and Venning, they are doing a lot of the heavy lifting in the Waikerie defence this afternoon. So the Rovers now bring this one back in board. Looks for a target. And that was a good grab there from Brodie Rover. So the Rovers now, I would have to think this is probably out of his range, but I think I'm hearing have a shot. So maybe there's something that we don't know, Nobby.
Yeah, well, if he's anything like Jack Austin, he won't have any trouble with the distance.
Goes back for a shot on goal. Looks for the top of the square. Is someone front and centre. Austin, a soccer off the ground, but through for a minor score.
Interesting call you made there, Lockie, with Tim Blight coming up to the half-forward line and playing high half-forward. In that last quarter, he was deep and Venning had him covered, but when he comes up, Venning leaves him with someone else.
So the Magpies bring it out through the usual suspects in Venning, but it gets back to the Rovers half-forward who get possession, and it finds Tim Blight.
Speak of the devil.
He'll go back for a shot on goal. He'll be kicking from about 48 out. Matt Spenceley standing the mark at this stage, who's been in the thick of it this afternoon.
I'm tipping he gets rid of this.
Yep, good call. And looks for Matt Wolford, but unable to mark it. And the Magpies, through Heusler, bring it out of their defensive 50. Finds Daish in the middle of the field.
He's another one solid in defence for the Magpies, Heusler.
Yep. Daish looks for Gordon, but the Rovers have got more numbers on their half back and managed to get possession and bring it back down.
Gee whiz, Gordon was easily shrugged aside and didn't really keep up with him.
Handball over to Jenke. Back down the line, looks for Rowe. But Tristan Gaiman manages to get that one for the Magpies, and they'll bring it back down again. So the Magpies go on the switch. B back at it again, but there he is again. It's Dan Wolford for the Rovers, who manages to get some hands to it. Ball spills out. Back to Fraser Sampson, who looks inboard, finds Trevor Thorpe. Good mark.
They're running in lines, the Rovers here, Lockie.
Middle of the field. Finds Charlton. He's got a bit of space, but holds up. And we'll try and calculate this one with some precision. Rovers lead, 3-3-21. Magpies 4 behinds. Goes into the 50. No one able to mark it. Magpies try and clear it out. It's a hot footy.
Oh, won that hard ball.
Vader manages to get some hands on it. Looks for Blight. Ball drops short. Heusler for the Magpies picks it up. Handball's out. But finds Dan Wolford for the Rovers.
If it's not Matt, it's Dan. They've got him corralled.
Yeah, and a good mark from Trevor Thorpe in the middle of the field, who's become a bit of a general across the centre today. Some good marks. Who looks to bring it into the 50, looks for a contest. Tom Charlton gets some hands on it, but spoiled out. Looks for Matt Wolford, who gets a kick, finds Rowe, and that will be a kick to Rowe. Good mark on the ground there. Bit of a diving slips catch, but manages to make it happen.
Tell you what, Lockie, those Wolford brothers are a bit like the Earp brothers at OK Corral back in the late 1880s.
So Jared Rowe for a shot on goal. Rovers currently have the possession and the advantage as we approach the 15-minute mark of the second quarter on the Nippies clock.
Matt Wolford coming from the ground for a well-earned spell.
And that's a good kick from Jared Rowe, and he's kicked it. The Rovers extend the lead 4-3-27 to the Waikerie Magpies. 4 behinds, 15 minutes gone, second quarter. Riverland football 5RM thanks to Maccas, and My Maccas Rewards has arrived. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today. Yeah, look, the Rovers now starting to get a bit of traction with their offence and really starting to make it look a little bit more menacing on the scoreboard, Nobby.
Yep, and unfortunately, most of the better players for the Magpies are in the defence, deep in defence, because they're getting a fair bit of action there.
Yeah, we're seeing Venning working pretty hard. Tristan Gaiman, Heusler getting into it just before.
Young Gollan, Dylan Gollan, sort of having his moments there as well.
Daesh and Spenceley are having a fair crack in the middle, but I don't reckon they've got too many to swap with. Moon.
He's finding it hard to get hold of the ball, Moon.
Looks for a target. Can't find someone. The Rovers now get possession through Obst, who kicks down the line and finds
Ricky Garrett. He's had a fantastic
at it
quarter.
again, who looks for Jared Rowe again, and he manages to get his hands on it, and he's got the mark. Rowe looks for a target and finds Charlton. So Charlton will go for a shot. He'll be kicking from 40 out.
See this, Lockie, you got 3 blokes from Waikerie around the ball, no one standing in the hole.
So some interesting defence this afternoon.
No point standing up there next to the mark. Craig Miller, you might as well get back in the hole if it drops short.
So Charlton now goes back.
Which it did.
This will drop short. And attempt on a mark from Blight, but it spills over for a behind. And the Rovers, Magpies rather bring it out. The 26 of Smith, who kicks down the line, looks for Miller. Good mark from Craig Miller. Wakerie's half back.
That's a better play, moving Zach Gartery around a little bit.
Miller down the line.
Oh, great mark, Lockie, great mark. Antonio Lo'Connor.
New player for the Magpies this afternoon.
Plays on and turns it over.
Yeah, great mark for the 21.
Who's he turn it over to? Dan Earp, or Dan Wolford as he is.
Dan Wolford this afternoon. New nickname this afternoon from Nobby. Expert comments. Kick down the line for the Magpies, though. Getting some possession through Heusler.
It's a better kick.
Who finds the 28 of Lacanio again. Looks for a target and, good attempt on a mark. Not to be, and just clear it out of their defensive 50 once again. Looks for Blight. Rose in there. Rose picks it up. Manages to get taken to ground, though, and that will be a free kick.
That was
to
a
the
really good tackle by Ben Smith there.
Smith to Spenceley. Back in board. Looks for Nitschke. Nitschke across. Half back. Magpies have got a bit of space here, but they've stopped. Over the top to Gaiman. Gaiman now into the 50 and doesn't hit anyone. The Rovers dive on it, and that will be a free kick to the Rovers. He'll bring it back out.
I think the Stings finally come out of the game almost at half-time. Both teams slowing a little.
Finds Sampson. Brings it back in board.
Be Garrett's 6th, 7th possession this quarter, Lockie.
Yep, Ricky Garrett. Solid set of hands on half-back. Almost a training kick. Finds Jenke. Jenke handballs over the top to Charlton. Charlton turns back inside, dodges one player. Matt Spenceley's looking menacing, but manages to handball off before.
Oh, he's in trouble, no.
Back down the line. Kick into the 50, but there's more Magpies and Rovers.
Yeah, Waikerie playing with one behind the ball.
And the Magpies will clear it out once again through Gaiman. Brings it across the middle. Daesh looks for a target. Ball drops short. Lacanio again. But it's the Rovers who managed to pick it up on their half back.
Dan Wolford again.
And bring it back in board. It is 5 footy thanks to Maccas, and My Maccas Rewards has arrived. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today. Garrett again. Nobby, your man.
He's going to have leather poison by half-time.
Finds Harrison Brown, who kicks down the line and finds Rowe, who a couple of shots at it, but managed to get the mark. Kicks into the 50, drops short of Austin. Hot footy, out of bounds, and that will be a kick to the Magpies.
Forced wide by the extra Waikerie defender standing in the hole.
20 minutes gone on the Nippies clock. A farm-grown family mate, the Riverland's very own. Into the pocket for the Magpies now, who are really still trying to push this switch. I will pay credit to Waikerie that are still trying to go on the attack. But it's gone straight to Fraser Sampson on the Rovers half-forward, who finds Matt Wolford back in board. This would be out of Matt's range, but I think you'll have some options as to what to do here. Umpire says play on. Wolford, not a long kick as I thought, looks for Charlton. A bit of a bump out the back, but umpire says play on, and they all dive on it. But it'll be a free to the Magpies, who play it on straight away. Through Nitschke. He's getting into the game a bit this quarter.
That was a nice mark there by David Kinnear.
The Rovers bring it across the ground again. Rimarath finds the 15 of Moon, who kicks down the line. Looks for Jack Grieger. Grieger unable to mark it.
Sampson, absolutely beautiful with his skills again.
That's Burgermeister for the Magpies now. Picks it up. Manages to get possession over to Moon. Moon kicks down the line. Looks for a target.
Nice kick.
Finds Gordon.
He's had to come a long way for that kick.
Who winds around, looks for a target. And he's found Jack Grieger, who goes for a shot on goal, but that misses to the near side again. Unlucky this afternoon. Jack Grieger's putting in a fair effort today.
Yeah, Waikerie 0-5 points to Renmark 4-4-28.
Well work scoreboard. Your new choice for commercial, industrial, household electrical work in the Riverland. So the Rovers bring it out, but it gets to centre wing, right in front of us here in the commentary box. 5 footy, thanks to Maccas. 21 minutes gone, second quarter. We will go around the grounds again very soon and get the updates on what's going on. The Barmera Monash and Berry game today. The Rovers now through Garrett again, who kicks down the line. Opes manages to get hands on it, but it's Steve Heusler who manages to mop it up. And the Magpies go across the face again through B.
You get the impression Magpies just holding on for half time here, Lockie, not trying to limit the damage.
Finds Geeman again. Geeman finds Miller. The centre square. Miller goes down the line, looks for a target. Oh, not a bad grab from Jack Grieger for the Magpies. Just on the 50. Kicks it into the 50.
Nice
full
pick up.
Short. Magpies have a shot on goal.
That one
that looks
better.
all right.
That was...
Brendan Moon.
Or was it? Yeah, it was too.
Brendan Moon, the number 15 for the Magpies. Yep. First game back for the year.
Well, that'll take a bit of pressure off.
So the Magpies then, 1 goal 5-11 to the Renmark Rovers, 4-4-28. Not quite half time. Riverland football, thanks to Maccas. The My Maccas Rewards has arrived. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today. That'll give the Magpies a bit of confidence going into half time if they can hold it.
Yeah, you'd hate to go in goalless, and when you look at it, it's 1 goal 5 to 4 goal 4, 6 shots to 8. Could have been a lot closer had Renmark been a little bit more accurate.
Certainly could have been, Nobby.
Sorry, not Renmark, Waikerie.
Weather conditions not changing too much.
Wolford
back to the centre, but doesn't go anywhere. The Waikerie Magpies 1-5-11 to the Renmark Rovers 4-4-28. And we are back at Waikerie this afternoon for the second half of the Round 2 Riverland Football League fixture between the... Some close footy early, but it's the Rovers at the moment, Nobby, that have control of this one. 4-5-29 to the Magpies, 1 goal, 5-11.
Yeah, so 3-goal lead at half-time to the Rovers, and you've got to be thinking the way Waikerie are taking the ball forward, that 3 goals might be hard to peg back, but a quick change to the way they're attacking forward with the ball could quickly change things. But good players for Waikerie, mostly in defence, like Jared B, Dylan Gollan had his moments, Ben Venning, Jack Grieger. I thought Tristan Geeman's probably their best to date. Mitch Hahn also good in the first quarter. Up around the ball, playing well. None more so than probably Matt Wolford and Dan Wolford, particularly Dan. Fraser Sampson had a good quarter. I thought Zach Gartery's been solid in ruck. And Jared Rowe also up and about. And Jack Austin for his 2 goals.
Yep, some good defensive play from the Magpies, Nobby, but they could only hold it up for so long, and that's when Renmark broke through and got those goals in that second quarter, which could be crucial. The Magpies, a late goal in that second quarter, though, you would have to think a little bit of confidence going into half-time, and certainly not out of it. Yeah,
no, definitely not out of it, and they'll have to tighten up a little bit on Matt Wolford and of course, coach Josh Vader, try and cut some of that supply. But in saying that, they're moving the ball very good. And one player I did forget to mention there was Ricky Garrett, who had a cracking second quarter.
I see the Magpies have put young Sinnott back into the ruck. He'll take on Gartry. Umpires now looking around to check that all the players are in the right positions. The third quarter soon to be underway. Riverland Football 2022 Premiership season thanks to Maccas. My Maccas Rewards has arrived. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today. 2022, the Rovers and the Magpies second half. Good tap from Sinnott. Finds Mitch Hahn for the Magpies, but it's Vader who clears it out for the Rovers, who kicks towards the Rovers' goal. Gets to half forward. The Magpies dive on it. The Rovers dive on it as well. And the umpire will say that's my ball. Half forward, Renmark Rovers.
Gee, was lucky there for the Rovers. Could he drag that ball in, Kel Morath? Could have easily been holding the ball.
Blight takes the ruck work, taps, but finds Heusler from the Magpies. Ball goes to ground again. And that will be another reset. And we'll rock and roll again. Sinnott and Blight in the ruck for both sides. The Magpies managed to get some hands on it. Finds B for the Magpies. Looks for the 14 of Jake Collins for the Magpies, who gets some hands on it. Finds Spenceley. Spenceley always seems to have time when he gets the ball.
Very good view there to looking behind him to see the Waikerie player.
Finds Smith. The Magpies now go on the attack. Not quite into the 50. Dustin Gordon tries to get a hand on it, spills out the side, and Fraser Sampson for the Rovers clears it out. And it's gone through a heap of handballs to Vader, who then goes out the side to Wolford, Matthew Wolford that is, who looks up and finds a target in Austin, I reckon that is over there.
Renmark have been very careful not to give the ball back so easily.
Looks to bring in border. That is a great mark.
Stephen Heusler, I think, Lockie.
That is Heusler. That could be the mark of the day. Thanks to MTSA, your local apprentice and training specialist. Good kick. Finds Spenceley, who brings it back in and finds Moon. Centres the ball. Heusler calling for it in the centre even more. But finds the 26 of Smith, who kicks over and finds B. Half back, Waikerie Magpies. The Rovers now managing to get the zone defence going. Kicks down the line, a shocking kick, but manages to find Moon. Moon has the mark. Brings it out wider. Finds Braun. He kicks down the line, not able to hit a target. Daish in there for the Magpies. Ball goes to ground and the umpire will say that's my ball. Riverland Football, thanks to Maccas. Less than 5 minutes gone.
A lot more
on the Nippies
promising
clock.
for the Pies here. They seem to be using the ball a little better.
Ball spills out to Grieger. Snap on goal, and it is another behind for the Magpies. Grieger's had a bit of it today and a few shots on goal.
Has.
Very unlucky so far this afternoon.
He has. I wouldn't mind betting he's kicked 3 or 4 points out of those 5.
So the Rovers will now bring it out.
Not all easy shots either.
No. So the Rovers bring it out through Harrison Brown, who kicks wide, looks for a target, spills over the back, but the Rovers manage to mop it up. Garrett has it, taken to ground, and that is holding the man.
I don't reckon he wanted to take possession of it, to be honest.
So Ricky Garrett gets the free after a bit of a contest. Garrett looks down the line, looks for a target. Vader manages to pick it up. Handballs back in, finds Blight. Back to Vader. Vader now kicks into the 50, but it goes straight to the Waikerie Magpies and Dylan Gollan. Tries to bring it out. Half volley pick up from the Magpies. Rovers trying to bring it back in, but the Magpies managed to clear it out. Spenceley get his hands on it, and he's wrapped up. And that will be a ball up, half forward for the Renmark Rovers.
Maggie seem reluctant to bring the ball down the middle and take the Rovers on.
So Vader out of the contest, hands over to Obst. Obst from 55 out has a shot. Austin unable to mark it. There's a foot race to the goals. Austin, a soccer off the ground. What's the umpire going to say? That's a goal, and that is the goal of the day so far.
It's a goal each quarter for Austin so far, proving the difference in attack.
A frantic foot race off the ground. Austin managed to get a soccer kick on it, and that is the goal of the day so far, and it's going to be hard to beat.
Good recovery from the big fella.
5 minutes gone, third quarter, Riverland football. Thanks to Maccas, and My Maccas Rewards has arrived. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today.
When I say big, tall, he's quite lithe. He
is. Very, very solid fella. Very fast too. So the Rovers extend the lead 5-5 to the Waikerie Magpies, 1-6. I thought that first section of that quarter was the Magpies, but once the Rovers steadied, they gained control. So the ball back in the centre. Sinnott and Gartree do battle. Spenceley gets a good grab at it, but wrapped up pretty much straight away. And
taken high, I think.
Yeah, gets the free. So Spenceley kicks to half forward and finds Braun.
Moon not happy with the way Grady Oates shut him on the ground just before there.
A flying ball contest, but it spills over the back. Harrison Brown unable to wrap it up. Finds Dan Wolford, who wraps it up and spills it out. Spenceley, shot on goal from 50 out, and that could be a contender for the goal of the day.
He backed himself in to take it on there.
That was a good goal from Matthew Spenceley. Just went, you know what, I'm going to kick this from here. Took his time, backed himself.
Handling error from the Rovers, trying to clear it. And
some frantic defence. So the Magpies return serve. The Rovers unable to extend the lead in that last 90 seconds, albeit brief. Renmark Rovers 5-5 at 35 to the Waikerie Magpies. 2-6-18. 8 minutes gone on the Nippies clock. Riverland's very own farm-grown, family-made. Wireworks scoreboard, the pressure for the Rovers. Not able to go through. So the Magpies still in this one for sure. Ball back in the centre. Throw up. Vader, a good clearance. Takes the game on. Handballs out. Looks for Wolford, who looked like he was taken high.
Yeah, good call by the umpire. I think he shrugged that tackle up there. So good call.
Morath, sorry, my bad. Wrong call. Some gutsy play from Kel Morath this afternoon. And I reckon we're going to see a 50 metre... No, we're not going to see okay, no. It's the Magpies. They get the free. Look down the line. Looks for Daish. Daish unable to mark it. Ball goes to ground. Dives on it. And they're all in there. Gartree, not quite a pick up. Finds B.
Trevor Thorpe copping one high there, but I don't think it was intentional. I think it was just in the play.
Who turns around, and now it's Harrison Beavis that gets the footy. Handballs over to Sampson, who kicks across the face and finds Matt Wolford, who holds station.
Has brother Dan running all on his own across halfback.
Dan Wolford now takes possession. Halfback for the Renmark Rovers. Riverland football. 5RM thanks to Maccas. Kick over the top. Finds Charlton, who brings it back in board and looks for Garrett. Good grab. And that'll be a kick to Garrett. Starting to hear a bit more voice out there this afternoon, Nobby.
Yeah, it is. I think it's...
So we're going to get a free here, and that will go the way of the Rovers. Terrible kick off the boot.
Oh, nice pick up.
And it's the Magpies that managed to pick it up and bring it back in board. Good grab in the centre from Collins for the Magpies. Finds Grieger. Grieger down the line. Looks for a player. Ball spills out. The Rovers manage to get their hands on it. It's a hot footy. Back to Vater, who takes the game on, brings it back in board. Handball spills out. And it's the way of Thorpe, who kicks down the line.
Gee, they moved the ball well through half back there with hand.
Certainly do. That found Stockman, who now finds Opes, who wheels around, trying to take the game on, taking the ground, and that will be holding the ball. Some good defensive play from the Magpies. But unfortunately, the kick wasn't as good as the tackle.
Wolford again.
And the ball back in the centre. And play on, the umpire says. Back to Vader, who now kicks into the 50 for the Rovers. Roy was the target, unable to mark it. Looks back inboard. Finds Wolford. Dan, who looks to centre it. Tom Charlton's there. Handballs off quickly, was about to get wrapped up and handballed it straight to the Magpies, who clear it out through Braun.
They got the numbers here. Should they get over the top here? Ooh.
Free kick to Daish from the Magpies.
Thorpe held him up just long enough there.
Daish, kick over the top, looks for Jack Grieger. Good grab, uncontested. Kicks down the line.
Collins again, another good touch.
Finds Collins. Kicks over the top. Finds B. B brings it back in board. Looks for Jack Grieger. Has a shot on goal. And a bit too low. And that will be...
It's an opportunity wasted there, I think, Lockie. They had the Renmark cold there.
He had the accuracy there that time, Jack Grieger, but unable with the height.
Not quite.
A hot footy once again. Finds Jack Grieger again, who finds Matt Spenceley, who'll go back for a shot on goal. The mark's about 40 out, straight in front. Crucial kick, this for the Waikerie Magpies. 12 and a half minutes gone, third quarter Riverland football, thanks to Maccas. And he's kicked it. So the Magpies still in the hunt. 3-6-24 to the Renmark Rovers. 5-5-35 on the Wireworks electrical scoreboard.
Spenceley dragging him back into the game off his own boot. Lockie with 2 third quarter goals.
He's taking the game on. So some wasted opportunities for the Rovers there to really put this game to bed not that long ago. And the Magpies now back in the hunt.
Interesting on baller, Matt Spencer. He tends to start in the middle and then just go and stand at half forward.
Very clever footballer, Matt Spenceley.
Without an opponent.
Been around the Riverland Football League a few seasons now. Brother Jake Spenceley not playing today. Be back in a couple of weeks, I'm told. Ball back in the centre. And the umpire balls it up. Craig Miller in the ruck for the Magpies now. Finds its way to Daish. Then over to Moon. And then to Matt Spenceley again, who brings the ball back inside. Looks for Braun.
Had a good quarter, Braun. Couple of important touches at half forward.
Playing up forward today.
Yep.
Shimmies a little bit. Centres the ball. Renmark get their first hands to it. Ball goes to ground. And that's holding the ball to the Magpies.
His first motion was to put a hand up and fend off. And if you don't fend them off,
that was Dearman.
Ball.
Finds Trevor Thorpe for the Rovers, who clears it out. Kicks straight across the centre square.
Yeah, well spotted by the umpire there. Renmark player being held when he's going for the ball.
So here we go. Tom Charlton for the Rovers now. He's got the ball in the square. Kicks short. Finds Matt Wolford, who handballs over to Vader, but it was a wayward handball. Vader still able to get it. Back to Wolford, who kicks wide and finds Jared Rowe. 45-degree angle. He'd be kicking from all of 50 here.
Gee whiz, Matt Wolford's had some touches today, Lockie.
Certainly one of the best footballers in the competition for some time. As Rowe goes back, gives it a roost. He's got the distance, but misses to the near side. Another behind for the Rovers. 5-6-36 to the Waikerie Magpies. 3-6-24 on the Wireworks scoreboard.
Looks like Anthony Daish has the gig on Matt Wolford at the moment.
Yeah, Daish is getting a fair bit of the footy himself, though, so it might be one of those things where both have to go on the attack, but at some point you'd have to suggest one has to be shut down. Magpies kick down the line. Finds Mitch Hahn, and then comes back in board, looks for a target.
It's a down-the-ground free kick there.
Back in board, looks for B, but intercepted by the Rovers, who
Dan Wolford
have a fleet of players running down the field. 34 of Stockman getting in the mix this afternoon. Gets to the half forward for the Rovers, though, and comes back out. The Magpies now back on the attack through Spenceley and Heusler, who kicks down the line but finds the Renmark coach, Josh
both
Vader.
sides with an extra half back.
Yeah.
Sort of waxing the ball to each
It's
other.
not really working for either one so far. Good little handball from Stockman. Sorry. Not Stockman. I'm getting a bit confused this afternoon. Sampson.
To Wolford.
Wolford.
Here we go.
Back over to Vader. 55 out. Looks for a target and finds Tom Charlton. And this is well within his range for a goal.
Nice lead from Charlton and acknowledged by the coach Vader, who made sure he gave him the ball.
15 minutes gone, third quarter, Riverland football on 5RM, thanks to Maccas. And My Maccas Rewards has arrived. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today. Here we go, Charlton goes back.
Distance, not a problem.
No one's super excited, and that's a behind. 3-7-37, the Rovers plays the Magpies 3-6-24 on the Wireworks electrical scoreboard. Magpies quick to bring it out and go wide. Looks for Miller. That is a good mark. That could be a mark of the day contender thanks to MTE SA.
He's taken 3 or 4 very good marks in the field play today.
Certainly a contender for the MTE SA mark of the day, your local apprentice and trainee specialist. Finds Grieger, who kicks down the line.
Collins, who's had a much improved quarter in tack this quarter.
Some smart play from Collins. Magpies looking for the attack. Finds Hahn. Hahn handballs back inside. Daish is looking dangerous, but gets driven to the pocket. Handballs back at the top of his head, looking for a target. Doesn't get anywhere, and the Rovers hurry that one out of bounds.
Touched off the boot by Vader there.
So this will be a ball in. And that's what the umpires have said. 17 minutes gone, third quarter, Riverland football on 5RM. Collins grabs it out of the ruck, kicks, doesn't get anywhere.
That's Moon.
A snap-on goal from Moon, and that doesn't. I think that might have been Laconio, the green boots.
Yeah, it is Lockie. Boots.
Laconio.
I think Moon's got white boots.
Yes, some very similar haircuts in Riverland football, as has been the case for the last couple of seasons. Matt Wolford.
Oh, great kick.
With the kick-out duties, but doesn't find Fraser Sampson. He's still hungry for the footy. Finds Opes, who finds Tim Blight.
Ben Smith having a much better quarter this quarter, holding him up a bit at halfback.
Ben Venning, the general in defence, manages to get possession and kicks
Steve Braun again.
over the square and finds Braun, who's starting to get into this game a lot more. Kicks wide, finds Ben Smith. Smith, a little kick over the top, doesn't make the distance, ball goes to ground, players dive on it, wrapped up, and the umpire will say that's my ball.
Much better quarter from the Magpies, reducing that margin by a goal.
Miller in the ruck against Blight. Blight grabs it out, managed to get hand out, but that is holding the ball.
That's Moon that time.
It was, but goes straight to Gartree. The Rovers ruckman resting in defence. Finds Wolford. Goes down the line, finds the other Wolford. Dan. brings it back in. Finds Austin. Austin back to Wolford, who kicks down the line, looks for Rowe, 2-on-1. The Magpies managed to get it through Miller and Daish. Daish wrapped up, and that is holding the ball.
Too long.
A little bit unlucky, but you could see it was there.
Oh, nice kick.
Rover, good kick, finds Charlton. And Charlton will take his time and go back for a shot on goal. Nearly 19 minutes gone, third quarter Riverland football.
Daish had to take the game on there, even
Yeah,
though he
absolutely.
ended up giving it back to him.
19 minutes gone on the Nippies clock. 5-round football. Charlton shot on goal and doesn't give it enough angle, and that will be another behind. 5-8-38, the Rovers plays the Magpies 3-6-24 on the Wireworks electrical scoreboard. Riverland football, 5RM. Magpies quick on the kickouts this afternoon, Nobby.
Yeah, they are, and they've taken the game on. I mean, 2 goals down, there's no option.
Magpies now kick down the line, but that goes straight to
Fraser Sampson.
He's
had a great game
for the Rovers, who brings it back in board and finds Rover, who plays on quickly, and finds the 21 of Dan Wolford, who will go back for a shot on goal, be kicking from 45 out on a slight angle, but he's got a target quickly and hands over to Charlton. Increases the angle, but shortens the distance.
Now, he missed an easy one from almost the same spot, 10 metres further out, same angle. He should be able to make amends here. He needs to be going at the right-hand goalpost from him, not leaving it left like he did last time.
Charlton now comes in for a shot on goal. And that looks a bit better. He looks happy.
Exactly as described, Lucky.
It's 6-8-44, plays the Waikerie Magpies 3-6-24 on the Wireworks electrical scoreboard, your new choice for all electrical, industrial, household electrical work in the Riverland.
Would you say he did his work on the previous putt?
He had a couple of practices.
Yeah,
Tom Charlton proving a bit of a handful up forward for the Magpies this afternoon.
Yeah, it's almost like there's no one standing.
Be interesting to see who is on Tom. He certainly was a key player in that final series last year. Of course, the Rovers held up the cup. So it is the Magpies trailing 3-6-24 to the Rovers, 6-8-44. Ball back in the middle. Finds Opes, who gets a boot on it. Good kick into the 50. Unable to be wrapped up by Blight. The Magpie defenders look hungry.
Gaiman again.
Gaiman, a hurried kick. A bit of a 9-iron and finds Jared Rowe. Gaiman under pressure. They really had no other option. Rowe back in board and finds Tom Charlton again. So Charlton's going to go back for another goal here.
He has been given far too much latitude in this quarter.
The Magpies held on for a good 15 minutes of this quarter, but the last 5 starting to slip away.
Yeah, just through poor checking in the forward line.
I think some unfamiliar players in a few too many spots this afternoon are starting to maybe hurt Waikerie a little bit. Charlton, he looks happy with that. And that's a goal. 7-8-50 plays the Waikerie Magpies 3-6-24 on the Wireworks electrical scoreboard, your new choice for all commercial, industrial, household electrical work in the Riverland. They say the third quarter is the premiership quarter. I know it's only round 2 this afternoon, but
this is a replay of the premiership game, though, from last year.
Saying that was probably a little bit closer at this stage of the game. Magpies don't look out of it, though. When they are able to get it into their 50, they do look dangerous. I look at Daish, I look at Spenceley, Grieger, Geeman. They're working very hard today.
Oh, they are. Had it been not for some of their efforts, the margin could have been a lot more.
Ball back in the centre. Young ruckman for the Magpies in Sinot rather. Doesn't go anywhere. Tap from Sinot. Goes to the Magpies. The Magpies Rovers wrap it up, and that will be another ball up.
It's an interesting coaching move by Fader. Geeman is actually on Charlton, and Charlton's running him around to keep him away from that kick behind the goal, behind the ball. Geeman's read a lot of the ball, but all of a sudden he's been made accountable.
So the Rovers now go on the switch and bring it towards us in the commentary position. Finds Jenke, finds Harrison Brown, a short kick. Play on it is.
Prior opportunity.
Dearman for the Magpies wrapped up, and that will be a free to the Rovers centre wing. Finds Jared Rowe. Rowe looks to the top of the square, finds a target, and that is a good grab from Tim Blight. The Rovers will go back for another one in the dying minutes of the third quarter on the Nippies clock. Farm-grown, family-made. Blight rocks back.
Ooh, bit lackadaisical, but
it didn't look good, but it's a goal. 8-8-56 to the Rovers, 3-6-24 the Waikerie Magpies on the Wireworks electrical scoreboard.
Yeah, 2 goals by Spenceley, bringing the Pies back into the game, but the last 3 goals, 2 by Charlton and that one by Blight, has stretched the half-time margin.
That it has. A good grab too from Tim Blight. Maybe a contender for the MTSA mark of the day. We've had a couple of marks this afternoon that are contenders of the MTSA mark of the day, your local apprentice and trainee specialist. Jack Grieger has been in the mix for that.
Yeah, you'd say this is a pretty big ask. 5 goals down at the end of the third quarter almost for the Pies to try and win the game.
Yeah, 25 minutes gone on the Nippies clock. Third quarter Riverland football. 5RM thanks to Maccas. Wrapped up. Rovers unable to clear it out.
Oh, smashed it forward.
Good tap from Haynes, who's back in the ruck. Finds Josh Vader. Josh Vader, a running shot on goal. Shepherded through. And that is a contender for the goal of the day. Josh Vader, a captain's goal, a coach's goal as well.
He had a touch at the ball up in the centre and then just burned forward. Great play by Grady Oates in just releasing the ball at the right time.
And a great shepherd over the line too from Jack Austin, who knew that was the coach that kicked that one. Just a little bit of a shepherd.
Are you meaning so don't mark it?
No, he could have marked that if he wanted to, but he went, no, Josh has kicked that one. I better let that one go through.
Yeah, well, Jack's got his goal this quarter for his third. It's all you need to do as a key forward, 1 goal a quarter, and he's done that so far for 3.
Yeah, Alex Haynes in the ruck for the Rovers in the last couple of minutes too, just sliding in there without us really noticing.
And he sort of smashed the ball forward.
Wouldn't be much time left in this third quarter. Riverland football, 5RM thanks to Maccas. Ball goes up. Ricky Garrett tries to get it and taken high, and that will be a free kick in the centre to Ricky Garrett, who looks to kick it wide. Looks for a target in Rover. Rover not able to get near it. Charlton contest at the ball with Golan.
Yeah, Dylan Golan's gone to him now. Probably a bit better pace-wise against him, but lacking about 6 or 7 inches in the old form in height.
The Rovers do have a little bit of a height advantage. Time, it's the Renmark Rovers 9-8-61 to the Waikerie Magpies 3-6-24. The fourth quarter straight after this. too far away here at Waikerie this afternoon. Round 2 Riverland football on 5RM. Thanks to Maccas. Lockie Winnell and Nobby Norton this afternoon. The Rovers in a commanding lead. It's 9-8-61 leading the Magpies 3-7-25. Some close moments in that third quarter early, but it belonged to the Rovers in the end.
Sure did, Lockie. And look, Magpies back into it, got the margin back to inside 2 goals with 2 goals from Matt Spenceley. But after that, it was 4 goals to the Renmark Rovers. He finished the quarter well. Charlton, 2 goals, Blight 1, and of course that last goal from Josh Vader has stretched the margin out to 37 points, which I reckon is going to be a little bit too. 36 points, bro. It's going to be a little bit too much for the Pies to reel in. You'd be hoping, as the Pies coach, that they don't throw in the towel and that they at least win the quarter, Lockie.
You would hope so. Look, they have been competitive today, the Magpies, and that's the thing with a lot of new players in this side. You know, a lot of availability issues, like a lot of footy clubs around Australia and the Riverland at the moment, for that matter. They have battled reasonably well, and I know it's going to be a tall ask, Nobby, but you know, some crazier things have happened. I'm a bit too good.
Interesting that Gordon coming to the bench and also Jake Collins. And I thought Jake Collins had a pretty good quarter that quarter, got his hands on the ball a couple of times in the forward lines and provided opportunity. And Gordon, well, he's hardly seen it all day. I would think he'd be as fresh as the morning sun. I'd be leaving him out there, perhaps bringing him up the ground.
Yeah, just in the other games, just quickly, Berry holding a reasonable lead over Barmer Monash at the Lakeside. We'll get some more updates on that game a little bit later this afternoon. Of course, Loxton doing better with Loxton North under lights at Loxton tonight. That game starts at 5 o'clock, so when we wrap up here, we might have to make a beeline to Loxton, Nobby, and go and check out the Tigers and the Panthers.
Yeah, interesting sort of clash there under lights. Good idea. While you got temperatures around about what they are, 21, 22, why not have a go to the night game?
Kai Sinnott back in the ruck for the Magpies this afternoon. He's batted well today.
Yeah, he's got his hands full against Zach Garter.
That's what I mean. He's probably taken on one of the best in the league.
Yeah, he's got his spinnaker up and ready to sail right over the top of him in this last quarter.
The River end in this fourth quarter. Riverland football, thanks to Maccas on 5RM. Ball goes up. Gartree gets the tap, but it's Moon that manages to drive it forward for the Magpies, and
pretty soft free, but it was there. Moon gets the free kick in the middle.
Moon now kicks wide, looks for a target, finds Braun, who handballs off, looks for a target. There's no one there. Magpies able to get some hands on it.
It was a bit of a nothing, that, wasn't it?
Just trying to work out who that is in that far pocket over there.
I think it was Spenceley that kicked the ball in, but gee whiz, no good going into a defensive pocket when you're 6 goals adrift.
No, so we'll see a ball in right in front of the Wireworks scoreboard. Your new choice for electrical work in the Riverland.
Boundary umpire being asked to pitch that one in again. It was a bit shallow.
Here we go. We'll go again. A ball in. Craig Miller in the ruck for the Magpies. Good to see they've put Miller in the middle, because if they have any chance, they're going to need him to put in a big fourth quarter. Another ball up in the Wireworks scoreboard pocket. Trevor Thorpe for the Rovers dives on it, drags it back in, and it will be a ball up.
Picturesque sight, this end of the ground, Lockie, as a 2-storey green and gold houseboat idles past the goals.
Yeah, and what is a lovely autumn sunny afternoon here in Waikerie today.
If you're playing for the Magpies in defence, you probably wouldn't mind getting on that and putting your feet up for a while.
Yep. Hopes for the Rovers, tries to drag it out of the contest, but gets taken to ground, and it will be another ball up.
Probably got a spar on it too. It'd be nice
Just
to
thinking that,
slide
what a
into that.
lovely afternoon that would be on that, Nobby. In fact, that's enough for the footy today. Let's go. And the ball spills out of bounds again, and that will be another ball up.
Oh, boat watching's not a bad hobby, you know.
Yeah. Young boundary umpires getting a fair workout here in this fourth quarter.
I reckon he might need an interchange. Someone from this side sneak over there.
Another ball then. Opes manages to get a kick on it. The first kick in about 3 minutes for Riverland football. Kick down the line. Goes to a contest. Spills forward. Jared B for the Magpies. He's been impressive today.
Yeah,
Battled
he's been
hard.
Very serviceable.
Good mark from Ben Smith,
Who has also been good. Move forward this time for Smith.
who looks back in board, but it's wrapped up by Mitch Jenke for the Rovers.
Play on to Harry Beavis.
And it's going to go back to...
Maybe he paid the mark.
That's going to go back
Before they couldn't play on.
to Jenke, who kicks wide and finds Jared Rowe, who I would say Nobby has put in a vintage performance this afternoon.
And here we have Tom Charlton leading Tristan Geeman a long way up the ground.
Handball's back to Rowe. Rowe has the footy, takes his time, waits for some options. Umpire about to say play on, but didn't. Comes back in board, kicks it to Gartree. Gartree with the footy. Kicks back to Rowe. This is a little bit of marks up. Year 6 primary school stuff here at the moment, Nobby.
Yeah, well, I think Renmark know they're not in danger of losing, but just happy to play out some time.
So Fraser Sampson now has a crack at it and tries to hit Garrett, but spills it. Brendan Moon picks it up and kicks it out of bounds.
Misses everything.
Probably one of the most lacklustre passages of Riverland football I've seen today. Back in board, finds Garrett. Garrett now with the footy, who holds it.
He's had plenty of it too.
Who
And so's this bloke.
finds Matt Wolford.
Who has basically been running unchecked for the whole game.
Who looks for actually a little bit of urgency and kicks a little bit longer than the previous kicks to a contest. Fraser Sampson, good crack at it, unable to mark it. And that goes out of bounds, and we'll get a ball in centre wing on the, what you'd call the town wing here at the Waikerie Oval.
Jack Austin sneaks back onto the ground and into the forward lines.
See the Magpies quickly trying to man up. The Magpies now clear it out of this contest, but doesn't hit a target, and the Rovers mop it up, and they've got
Looking
numbers.
for a switch.
Good kick from Beavis, brings it back in board,
Oh,
finds
three
his
of
old
them.
mate Trevor Thorpe, who has a bounce, has another one. 2 bounces for Thorpe, who kicks out wide, tries to hit Rowe, ball bounces short, Rowe still picks it back up, back in board to the 26 of Kinnear. And there's a turnover. The Magpies able to get possession, and that will be a high tackle. Oh, no. Okay.
All jumper, I think, Lockie.
Maybe it was. So Kelmarath for the Rovers kicks into the 50, but Ben Venning, good grab for the veteran Magpie defender. Finds Spenceley. Finds Geeman. Looks for Heusler. Oh, that is a solid mark of the day.
Yeah, it was
Contender
a very solid
from Steve
mark
Heusler.
under some severe pressure by Thorpe.
Thanks to MTSA, your local apprentice and trainee specialist. Finds Jack Grieger. Grieger now down the line. Looks for a target. Unable to mark it, Stephen Braun. Magpies still with somewhat possession. Good kick from Moon, who
Bradley Burgermeister.
finds a target in Burgermeister, I reckon. Burgermeister, is he going to have a shot on goal? I think he is. He'll be kicking from the Wireworks scoreboard pocket.
And why wouldn't he?
Rovers lead 62 plays 25. 5 minutes gone. The Nippies clock. Burgermeister now. Comes back in. Looks all right. Oh, and it's hit the post. Unlucky for the young Magpie forward. And Harrison Brown for the Rovers plays on and brings it out of bounds, or brings it out rather. He's nearly at the 50.
Dan Wolford.
Handballs
again.
off to Wolford. Handballs to Matt Wolford. Down the line, looks for Rowe. Falls short, and Rowe gets it out of bounds. Strategically, enough for a ball in.
They've run that ball easily from fullback to the centre wing.
Ball in, centre wing. 6 minutes gone. Fourth quarter Riverland football. Josh Vader now able to get the clearance. Kicks on the attack. Venning tries to mop it up. Soccer off the ground. The Rovers, very dangerous, but the Magpies managing to clear this one out through Jared B, who brings it back
Nice
down the
kick.
line, but finds our man Ricky Garrett. It's a hot footy. Matt Spenceley's in there. Daish back to Grieger.
Would you say he'd probably be up there in their best, Grieger, at this
Certainly
stage?
would be.
Him, B, and...
Tristan Gaiman.
Yep.
Matt Spenceley's played all right today. Fraser Sampson now kicks down the line for the Rovers into the 50. But the Waikerie defenders through Venning in Gaiman managed to clear it out. Now Moon down the line, looks
Nice
for a
kick.
target. Oh,
In the back every day of the week. Harry Beavis made him earn that one.
and Craig Miller gets the free for the Magpies.
I think he realised who
Short
it was.
kick.
I reckon Harry worked out who it was in front of him, and
They've had a pretty decent battle today, those two. So Matt Spenceley's got the free just on the 50. Plays on, has a shot on goal himself. Shepherded through. That is a goal. So the Magpies still lingering, Nobby.
first goal of the last quarter. Took a while.
The Magpies a chance?
No.
Okay. 10 minutes gone. Fourth quarter, Riverland football.
The chance of what? Cutting the margin back to 5 goals.
62, plays 32.
You know, not enough time, Lockie.
Okay.
But they're not going to turn it up, that's for sure.
Lee Dearman for the Magpies now comes back onto the field. 62 plays 32 on the Wireworks electrical scoreboard.
You mentioned Craig Miller before. I reckon he's taken 5 or 6 field marks today, so has done a little bit around the ground.
He could be a contender for the MTSA Mark of the Day, your local apprentice and trainee specialist. Ball goes up in the centre. It's Haynes now for the Rovers back into the ruck. Moon for the Magpies gets the clearance, kicks it wide. There's a foot race to the football. Trevor Thorpe's going for it. Braun for the Magpies. They're all chasing it down. But it's Dan Wolford who manages to get the footy. Finds Alex Haynes, who will just hold station for a second. Brings it back inboard. Finds Garrett. Garrett's looking for an option. Who's he seen? Oh, and a tough contest.
That was friendly fire for Renmark.
It was Harrison Brown, the one who copped the brunt of that, but he gets back up. The Magpies now back in the 50, and they'll have another shot on goal here.
Craig Miller.
Miller. The Guernseys rips. Don't know how many Guernseys he's ripped over the years, but don't think it's been his first.
Seems to get himself in those perilous situations, doesn't he?
He certainly does. One of the hard charges over the last decade of Riverland football.
Certainly not frightened of a contest.
Craig Miller has a shot on goal. It looks all right.
It's a nice kick.
And the Magpies now, 38 plays 62. They're still hanging around. The Wireworks scoreboard, that scoreboard pressure's not frightening the Magpies. They're still having a crack.
4 goals to draw it, 5 to win it.
12 minutes gone, fourth quarter, Riverland football. Thanks to Maccas and
plenty of time, but Renmark would only have to kick 1 goal to ice it.
True. We do it all thanks to Maccas, and My Maccas Rewards has arrived. Order via the My Maccas app and start earning today. The ball back to the centre. Still a lovely sunny afternoon here this afternoon. The breeze has dropped off to nothing. Haynes, good tap for the Rovers, but it's Matt Spenceley that gets his hands on the footy first.
Ooh,
Looks
that was clumsy.
for Moon.
Clumsy tackle. And
Moon gets the free.
Moon's had a couple of important touches this quarter, Lockie.
Moon's looking for options down the line. He doesn't want to go sideways. That was Craig Miller in the mix there. Unable to get his hands on it. Good mark, good attempt though. Back into the centre. Burgermeister now for the Magpies has been the centre. Magpies have some got numbers here. There's Gaiman. Down the line. Jack Grieger gets his hands on it, wheels back around, kicks back inboard. Looks for a target. Unable to find Brad Burgermeister.
Tell you what, with only 4 goals of difference, now would be the time to re-inject Dustin Gordon into the game.
We haven't seen him this quarter yet.
No.
Not sure if there's an injury concern or what the deal might be, but 12 minutes gone. Fourth quarter Riverland football on 5RM. Thanks to Macca's. My Macca's rewards has arrived. Order via the My Macca's app and start earnings today. Ball gets thrown back in. A snap-on goal and
Desperate defence.
Rushed over the line by the veteran defender in Harry Beavis for the Rovers. Thorpe with the kick.
Had to hold that. Waikerie had the numbers behind the ball.
Finds Harrison Brown in what was a bit of a Mark War slips catch. Diving.
Look, he comes on his own row.
Kicks down the line. Looks for Marath. Marath unable to mark it, and that's out of bounds, and we'll get another ball in. Tim Blight now returning to the field for the Rovers. Throw in. Marath gets his hands on it, finds Garrett, who's pedalling backwards, gets it to Harrison Brown. He kicks down the line, but it's Matt Spenceley that gets the mark and kicks back inboard.
It.
Finds Geeman.
Nice kick.
Magpies looking dangerous, but there's too many Rover defenders where the ball was kicked, and they're able to clear it out. And they'll run it down the line. Matt Wolford now with the ball in the centre. Calling for options. Ball goes into the Rovers 50. Looks for Austin. Austin overshot it. Ball taken to ground, and will be a ball up in the Rovers 50.
Vader strategically placed himself behind the ball here, playing kick behind, just to hold up any Waikerie attacks.
Ball goes up. Dan Wolford now with the kick out of the ruck, and Dan Wolford somehow got the mark. He's outside the 50. Kicks across, finds Thorpe.
Unfamiliar territory for him to have a shot at goal.
Yes. 15 minutes gone, fourth quarter Riverland football. Finds Rowe. Who tries to kick it back in, but finds Matt Spenceley, who then finds Moon, who goes wide. Finds Craig Miller.
You'd be thinking to yourself, like, if you're going to turn the ball over, better off to turn it over at the goal square than at the 50-metre line.
Miller now with the footy. Kicks back inboard. Dangerous kick, but Anthony Daish gets his hands on it and wraps it up. Daish now goes back. Boundary side. Good mark from Braun. He kicks down the line.
That's a good
good grab from
Craig
Miller. Yep. That is an MTSA Mark of the Day contender. Handballs quickly over to Moon. Kicks into the 50.
Harry Beavis.
Good defensive grab from Harry Beavis for the Rovers, who kicks it out quickly. Harrison Brown now with the ball. Out of the 50. Looks for Tom Charlton. He's unable to get it. Jack Burgermeister with a kick. Smothered. Wrapped up. There it is. 16 minutes gone on the Nippies clock. Farm grown, family made. Stephen Braun kicks into the 50. Looks for Mitch Hahn.
And who should be there but Vader?
Hahn and Vader run that one out of bounds. And I reckon Mitch Hahn has gone to the ground with a cramp. He's trying to stretch that one out. Right in front of the Wireworks electrical scoreboard.
Next goal to Waikerie would make things pretty interesting, I reckon.
5-9 plays 9-8. Favour of the Rovers. Good clearance from Vader.
Placing himself deep in defence to just hold up the ship.
Tom Charlton manages to find Garrett. Put in a hard performance all day. Back inboard to Thorpe, who gets the mark.
Bit lucky to get away without giving away a 25 there. Here's Vader again.
So the Rovers now, well, no, they're not going to switch it. Kick through Sampson, who brings it boundary side. Jenke now. for the Rovers. Kicks into the 50, looks for a target. Austin goes up, but it was 2-on-1. He was unable to get it. Ball spills forward. Snap on goal from Dion Austin. And that is a behind.
Renmark with numbers across the oval behind the ball here.
Approaching the 20-minute mark, fourth quarter Riverland football, thanks to Macca's. And my Macca's Rewards has arrived. Order via the My Macca's app and start earning today. Moon again. Finds Smith.
Heisler again.
Finds a target. Miller now for the Magpies, tries to wrap it up, falls forward, and it will be a ball up. Waikerie side of the centre square. Nearly 20 minutes gone on the Nippies clock. Riverland football, 5RM. Out of the contest. Waikerie get the kick, but finds Fraser Sampson for the Rovers, who kicks wide to Dan Wolford.
He's had his fair share of it, although I think his brother might be just overshadowing him in terms of BOG, Lockie.
Back to Thorpe, who brings it back inboard. Who kicks it over to Beavis. Finds the 34 of Stockman, who's put in a pretty good performance today. We have a player on the ground after what was a pretty serious contest.
Yeah, not necessarily a fair one either, Lockie, but I'm going to leave it at that for now.
Kick on goal, and the Magpies get the goal after what was a very interesting piece of play.
Antonio Iacone.
Laconia, yes. Laconia, new player for the Magpies today.
Wolford coming from the ground for a much-deserved rest.
Yep. And Harrison Brown also coming to the
I think he was only winded, Lockie.
the bench after a pretty tough contest. So the Magpies, 45, plays the Rovers 62. Just over 20 minutes gone. Fourth quarter, Riverland football on 5RM, thanks to Macca's. Ball back to the centre.
I think there's a point missing off that scoreboard, I think, from Renmark.
The Rovers now drive it out of the square into their 50. Jared Rowe, a hard attack at the footy, goes past. Tristan Gaiman kicks it across the goals. Across the 50. Magpies now trying to get this one out of the Rovers'
They
50.
certainly haven't given up their effort on the ball.
If the Rovers could get a goal here, that would probably seal it. But
I reckon it's sealed, Lockie. But
well, it's just got that element of danger about it still.
But Waikerie, to their credit, have not given it up.
The Rovers now have possession, centre wing, town side. The switch is on through Stockman, who takes a bounce.
There's a look in the mirror.
Takes another bounce, looks up, shakes another one, has another bounce. Stockman now goes into the 50. I thought he was going to have a shot on goal. Doesn't make any targets though.
He had no one else to run around.
And the ball comes out of the Magpies defensive 50 again. Oh, good grab from Miller.
It's his fourth mark for the quarter and probably eighth or ninth for the game.
But that is the MTE SA, your local apprentice and trainee mark of the day contender. Another one in there. Ball goes into the 50 for the Magpies, but Harry Beavis clears it out.
He's been serviceable in the back lines here.
Chases this one to the boundary line, keeps it in. Looks to shake a tackle. Finds Marath, who handballs off to Vader. Vader to Rover. Finds Laconio. Golan, rather. My bad.
Had pace there, didn't he? Golan out of back
Certainly
lines.
did. Golan takes the ruck. To the Waikerie Magpies, 6-9-45. A big game of Riverland football round 2. The Rovers now undefeated in this 2022 season so far. The Magpies, a fairly solid effort for most of the game, but it was the Rovers' skill and...
third quarter, Lockie. 5-goal third quarter was the difference. And look, Waikerie kept them to just 1 point in that last quarter and gave a red-hot go themselves with 3 goals. And look, I think they certainly did their best to keep the contest going and didn't give Renmark anything easy. But those last 3 goals or 4 goals of the third quarter were the difference.
Certainly was. Look, some good individual performances around the grounds. We will go through those awards very soon. Just quickly, Nobby, some better players for the Magpies today. Understandably, I think their defenders really put up a fairly decent effort for all the day. I'm talking about Tristan Gaiman, Jack Grieger, Ben Venning, another stellar performance down back today.
And I think you had to give Craig Miller a mention there for the way he fought the game out.
Yeah, Craig Miller certainly was in the thick of it for all the day. Matt Spenceley too,
with
another
3
one.
goals for Matt Spenceley, and so his effort was good too.
And also, I think, we must mention maybe some of these newer names that we're seeing in this Waikerie side today. Jake Collins, number 14, I thought he was pretty serviceable.
Third quarter was good.
Yep. And Jared B, another one that
was good.
Been around the club a long time.
And I thought the young fella in the back lines, Dylan Golan, who was still going flat out in the last quarter, had his moments as well.
Yeah, for the Rovers, look, a lot of good performances as always. Jack Austin up forward, kicked a couple of goals.
3.
Will Stockman in the defence was very handy. Tom Charlton, another
2
solid
third
forward.
quarter goals to set the game up.
Zach Gartry in the ruck.
Yep.
Dan Wolford, the latest Wolford to join.
Fraser Sampson was solid. Ricky Garrett.
Jared Rowe, Josh Vader.
Josh Vader's good.
Harry Beavis. You really could give best on ground to just about anyone
probably
today.
The
that
two
Rovers
Wolford
side.
boys and Vader were the difference around the middle.
Let's run through some of our awards today. Look, the MTE SA Mark of the Day, your local apprentice and trainee specialist. Look, I don't know which one I'm going to give it to, but I think we have to give that to Craig Miller.
Well, he took 8 or 9 marks, and 2 or 3 of them were in contention, Lockie, so good call.
Goal of the day, look, a throw up for me. I think Matt Spenceley's third quarter goal when the chips were down and,
took the game on himself.
I thought it was very
Jack
serviceable.
Austin kicked a nice one in the third quarter, but Spenceley 3-quarter goals in the third quarter and 1 in the last. Yep, that one in the third quarter was a probably pivotal goal to bring him back in within 2 goals.
And the other one we must mention was Josh Vader's running goal into the 50.
End of the third quarter.
So let's give it to Matt Spenceley for the goal of the day.
Yep,
I think a serviceable effort.
Yep.
Best on ground for both sides today. Look, I think it's particularly early. I think it has to be a coach's effort. I'm going to give it to Josh Vader.
Yeah, well, good call. I thought right behind him was Matt Wolford and Dan Wolford, the 2 Earp brothers, as we named them during the game. They were good. Their midfield was good.
Just quickly, some other scores around the grounds. Berry 12-8-80 were leading Barmera Monash 4-8-33 a little bit earlier today. Full time at Wonka, it was Wonka 145, Paringa 10, and BSR 99 full time to the Ramco Roosters 43. So there you have it.
Surprising
BSR,
result there,
getting the job done. That does wrap it up here at Waikerie this afternoon. Riverland football on 5RM. We'll do it all again next week.
See ya.